Here's everything we know about the brutal murder of InfoWars reporter Jamie White. On his Monday, March 10th episode of InfoWars, Alex Jones announced that one of his reporters was killed outside of his apartment in Austin, Texas.
Jamie was murdered last night outside of his home, just a few miles away from our studios.
Jamie White, described by Jones as a good friend and the best writer at InfoWars, was heading home after work late when he was killed, Jones said.
This was his desk for breaking stuff on the news. He was up here 6-7 days a week. He was up here last night, Sunday night.
According to local reports and Austin police, authorities were called at approximately 11:57 p.m. on March 9th to a parking lot of an apartment complex on the 2300 block of Douglas Street in South Austin. Arriving just 2 minutes later at 11:59, police reported they found an adult male victim with obvious signs of trauma.
Officers responded to a shoot-stab hotshot, which is a high-priority call for service. The victim was pretty expediently transported by EMS to a local hospital. Unfortunately, the victim, an adult male, was pronounced deceased at the hospital at approximately 12:19 a.m.
And are you releasing whether it's a shooting or a stabbing or?
Just not at this time. Just said that there was obvious trauma, signs of trauma, and one person is deceased.
As far as how Jones came to learn of White's alleged murder, he says that after Jamie didn't show up for work in the morning, his team sent a crew member to his home-turned-crime scene, where police allegedly confirmed the victim's identity as White.
And when they got to the apartment complex, there was yellow tape everywhere and blood all over the parking lot, and didn't look good. And then they didn't even want to tell me yet that the cops had said, no, it was Jamie White, that we were the first to learn. They waited until the afternoon until the family's been told.
Austin police are imploring anyone who has information to share it. They have not officially named White as the victim and have released no suspect information, but say they will share more information when they can. However, in his typical controversial style, Jones didn't hold back from casting blame on the left.
You murdered Jamie White. You opened the door, you created the climate, you created the conditions on purpose. George Soros, Alexander Soros, you murdered Jamie White. Joe Biden, you murdered Jamie White. And they aided and abetted. They are accomplices. You are responsible, Jose Garza, just as much as the person or people that murdered our reporter.
Meanwhile, White's heartbroken sister, Kelly Neal, told The Independent that her brother was killed by someone attempting to break into his car. I don't believe it was targeted, she said. Neal says his car was first broken into in an incident around Christmas time, and that he was shot by a person or persons trying to break into his car for the second time. His family mourned the loss of White as leaving an unimaginable void in their lives. In an online fundraiser, they described him as a gifted pianist and a connoisseur of dark metal music. He lived life with intensity and creativity, always dreaming of finding the perfect woman and building a beautiful family. In an X post, Jones pledged that Jamie's tragic death will not be in vain, and those responsible for this senseless violence will be brought to justice.